You might have left out in the chat, which might be more. Oh, right, yeah, I got you. Right, where do you want to start? Yeah, that's called what's lazy. It's not right. He'll tell you what you want. So what do you want to where do you want to start? Okay, let's go there now.
To the Varsity Match 2024, and this is what it's all about. To my right here, we've got the Varsity Bowl, and to my left here, we have the MVP trophy. It's anyone's guess who's going to take these home, but I think I have an idea. Let's go talk to the Oxford sideline. So the weather here is hot, hotter than it's been so far this year. There's a bunch of questions as to how that will impact the game. 2 years ago, we were playing at this pitch. We had similar conditions, and it was a travesty for the Oxford team. We had someone get so dehydrated, they had to go to the hospital. But hopefully it'll be different this year. Let's see if we can grab a quick interview with one of the coaches. Yeah, Tom, here for an interview. I hear it's gonna be a big game today.
Should be.
I wanna know one number starting off. How many turnovers are we gonna get?
How many turnovers? I always ask the defense for at least one. I'm aiming for 3.
Aiming for 3. How does that compare to previous varsity?
Previous varsity, we had, I think, 1 last time. We had, I think, 1 the year before, so we're trying to up that, really. Last year, we really got a lot of our kind of extra possessions on special teams rather than on defense.
And that was going to be my follow-on question. How big of a role do you think special teams will play in this game?
It's key. Like, we lost this game last time here on special teams. It was 2 touchdowns apiece. And they converted their PATs, we didn't. So it is absolutely crucial, and we've been working really hard on our special teams.
Are you expecting any more field goal blocks this year, like last year?
Oh, yeah, we'll work for it for sure. See if we can return one to the house.
And who are the defensive players that we should be looking out for? Who do you think are going to make the big plays today?
So Yoon, wearing 17, is always a really good player in the middle, at linebacker. Then, our defensive ends, Ade and Honor, they can be real game wreckers, and they've shown it. They're probably the big guys, and then Victor in the middle, wearing 64. He can eat up a lot of blocks and make some tackles for loss.
Mm-hmm. And if you had to guess, what are they going to be relying on more in this game, the run game or the pass game?
We'll see. I mean, good weather today, so they might air it out a bit more than we expected last time they did that, and they were quite successful. So I think they might air it out more than we maybe think. We don't think that might be their best opportunity, but they will try and keep us on the back foot and trying to see if we can see if they can catch us napping.
Yep, I think that sounds like a great plan. Just stop that, get those picks.
Oh yeah,
it'll be easy. All right, well, thank you for your time. We'll let you get back to coaching the boys. Now our next interviewer here, head coach, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. He won by 34 last year. Let's see if he can do it by more this year. What do you think the line is going to be?
I wouldn't want to make a guess. It's always hard to guess how Cambridge are going to come out, especially at home. They haven't had the season they would have wanted this year, which means that this game's going to mean even more to them. They're always strong at home, so we're just going to go out there and do what we do, play our game, and hope for the best.
So we had some problems 2 years ago here with the weather. The weather seems similar today. What have we done to sort of mitigate those issues?
We haven't got anyone drinking 10 litres of water this year, that's for sure. So we've got a load of, we've brought ice in, ice towels, we've got rehydration salts going on the sideline. Everyone's been, really looking forward to this game, so they've been prepping all week. So we're looking like we're going to be good today. Hopefully we shouldn't see any heat-related incidents. Yep.
And then the question I got to ask everyone, who are the key players to look out for? Who's going to be making the big plays today, changing the tide when it needs to be done?
So defense and offense, you've got number 16 and number 14, so Guy and Ari, safety and corner on defense, and 2 slot receivers on offense. Keep an eye out for them. They can really make plays happen. Joel Chesters is always a threat, both in the pocket and on his feet, so real dual threat there. Definitely worth looking for our defensive ends as well. They can really make some issues in the backfield, so definitely keep an eye out for all of them.
We'll let you get back to coaching your team.
Thank you very much, Miles.
Thank you for your time.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
What are you expecting from the game today?
A W. Yeah, there's nothing but a W. We got this.
And what do you think the line's going to be?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm not.
Right.
I have no clue.
You're not going to risk yourself like that.
No, I'm not going to jinx it, you know what I mean? I'm not like, we're going to see what happens. We're going to play hard. Oxford done well this season. They outperformed themselves, but like we've been training hard since the end of the season. We've been getting people in. We've got some new boys who we wish we had all season. But yeah, I back our odds.
And looking at this season in terms of like improvements, do you think you've made improvements from last year?
I think we started off slow this season. We had some problems. A lot of our experienced players left, and it was quite a green team. But I mean, after Christmas, like we brought it back. Those guys worked hard, drilled, and we started to pick it up. So hopefully we can make it count.
And where do you think the explosive plays are going to come from today from Cambridge? From the defense, the offense, or the special teams?
Mate, our defense, that stuff's impenetrable. We got that on lock. But I think, yeah, Oxford need to watch the wings, you know.
Watch the wings. I'll let them know that.
Please don't. Perfect. Thank you, mate.
Thank you for your time.
Cheers, James.
All right. And now we've got Saketh, our best wide receiver on the team, if you ask me. If you have one thing to say to the people watching right now, what would you tell them?
You're in for a show.
They're in for a show? How many do you think you are going to get?
We play as a team. We've played as a team all year. I don't care.
That's the right attitude. And then this question I've been asking everyone, how big of a role do you think special teams is going to play in this game? It played a big role 2 years ago when, unfortunately, we lost to this location. What do you think is going to happen today?
It's a third of a game. It's always important. Coach Ian handles the special teams, and he always does a good job. He always has us keyed in. Special teams is huge.
And what has the energy been like in the locker room leading up to this game? I know in previous years we've had differing energy coming into this game, but it always seems like everyone's super excited. What have you seen this year?
We're pumped. I mean, we had a great season, but none of it matters unless we come out here and show what our team is about. So everyone's excited to kind of show the audience what we can do.
And just to let the audience know, Oxford is a Division I team, Cambridge is a Division II team. What role do you think that's going to play in the game today?
Zero.
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 Okay. Well, we beat them by 34 last year. Do you think we're going to beat them by more or less this year?
A win is a win. That's what we're focused on.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you for your time. All right, so we've got a lot of players running through the tunnel here. Everybody's clearly super excited. I think the energy is just higher than I've ever seen it here. I don't know if that's coming across on camera, but it should. I'm going to try and grab someone out of this line for an interview. We've got here Yoon, if you ask me, our best defensive player on the team. What do you expect from the game today?
Well, as the reigning 2022-2023 DMVP, I'm expecting a shutout this year.
Yeah, so we beat them by 34 last year. What are you expecting this year?
That's just the baseline standard, you know. We're here to show them the difference between a Div 1 playoff team and a Div 2 team. There's nothing personal. We're just here to make a statement, to really, you know, for scientific purposes, just to show us what the difference is.
So you think there is a difference between a Division I and a Division II football team?
I guess we'll find out.
Find out. We found out last year. And who are you expecting, other than yourself on defense, to make the big plays today?
I think we have a crazy strong secondary this week. I think I take our secondary against any passing offense in the entire league. So that's where I'm thinking a lot of big plays are going to come.
Someone just came over and said we need to look out for our wings. So I'll pass it on to you. Pass that off to the rest of the team. Look out for the wings.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And then we're going to send it back up to the boys at the commentating booth and get us started.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 17th annual Varsity Bowl, where the Oxford University Lancers are taking on the Cambridge University Pythons. I'm David, and I'm joined with
Daniel here, former quarterback for the Cambridge Pythons, and David, a former running back and defensive end for the Lancers, who's terrified us for the last few years.
I think we could very much say the same about you as well, Daniel. Remind us what happened here 2 years ago.
Well, 2 years ago it was indeed a famous win for the Pythons on this venue. Very similar weather, possibly the same date, I think. It was from 12 points down in the third quarter, we launched a fourth quarter comeback with 2 late touchdowns to win the game 14-12.
And I believe those touchdowns were scored by yourself, Daniel?
No, I didn't score those touchdowns. I did score the 2 crucial extra points, however, which, as we've heard from miles down on the pitch, special teams is going to be a big factor today, as it was both last year and 2 years ago.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what do you think we can expect here today, Daniel?
Well, I think it's going to be a tough battle. Obviously, the expectation coming in, Oxford are playing a division above Cambridge and have had a very successful season. Cambridge had a very tough start to the season, as James Tomling, the president, was just telling us, but have turned it around since Christmas and hopefully have continued improving since then. So we can look forward, hopefully, to a close game. Certainly, ideally, would be closer than last year. From my point of view, something similar to 2 years ago would be perfect. So hopefully we see something like that today.
Yeah, I think it's best as well for those who are watching at home to have an entertaining game that is end to end. You don't know what you're going to get. And I think that's one of the best things about varsity. Varsity, you never know what's going to happen, even though seasons may differ between the universities. When it comes to varsity, you don't come ill-prepared because you can get punched in the mouth as we did 2 years ago. So hopefully Oxford have learnt their lesson. Hopefully Cambridge have taken the loss from last year and will use that to motivate them today. But we're definitely going to be in for a treat if the last 2 years are anything to show for.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, Oxford obviously have had a very successful season coming into this, but if they lose today, it's not a successful season. I mean, as I'm sure you know, the varsity match is what makes or breaks a season for these teams. It is the one that's important. It doesn't matter how you've done in Bucks all year. If you win the varsity, it's a winning season, and if you lose the varsity, it's a losing season.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I believe for Cambridge, there are a lot of new rookies who joined the team this year. How do you see American football growing at Cambridge?
Well, that's a tough question, and one we've been trying to answer for years now. It's, as you said, and as James told us on the field, yes, we've had a lot of new players in this season and quite a few experienced players leaving at the end of last season. Oxford obviously have really shown us the template, I guess, in how to grow the sport within the university. So the Oxford team has come on leaps and bounds in the last few years with funding and stepping up and gaining a pitch in Oxford, and now players on scholarship. If we can try to recreate that model here in Cambridge, that's what we need to be looking at going forward. Not just more players next year, but really growing the entire club, our facilities, everything we can. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, and the fact that we even have a live stream here today, some of you who have been following American football between Oxford and Cambridge over the years would know, I think 3 years ago, the quality of the live stream was not very watchable. But this is just evidence of how the sport is growing, and we really hope that, you know, high tides raise all boats, and that as American football grows at Oxford University, that hopefully that would also trickle down to Cambridge as well, and it would raise the level of American football between the two universities.
Yeah, I think as you said, we've come so far even in the last 3 years with Oxford leading that charge, but if Cambridge can do something similar to get on the same level, we can keep growing this event, because this is the centerpiece of the season for both teams. So if we can keep improving, as we see with the quality of the live stream today, which is just fantastic.
So currently we're having the pitch walkouts where each of the members from each team will come out and they'll do a card check. It also gives them a chance to hype themselves up as they prepare for what is going to be an exciting game.
So now we see James Tomling, the Cambridge president. He's about to give his pre-game team talk to get try and get the players fired up and ready for this. Not that they're going to need much motivation at this point, but being inside this huddle, that was always one of my favourite bits, being part of this. David, what sort of thing will James be saying at this point?
Well, before a game, you want to get your team hyped up. You've been here for 2 hours, you've changed, you've been thinking about this game for weeks now because the season has been over. And as you can hear them, they're trying to get themselves pumped up and ready for the game. Let's see if it will help them in the coming moments, but it's very important. Before your game starts, you want to get your adrenaline going, you want to get your energy up so that from the first play you can come and you can make a difference.
Yeah, it really is about a fast start. It can set the tone. Obviously, Oxford, the heavy favourites here, but if Cambridge can get something on the board early, it might shock Oxford and hopefully motivate Cambridge to hold on and keep something going. So, who are the captains for Oxford today, David? Sorry, put you on the spot there slightly.
I do not know. But currently we have Ari, who plays wide receiver, Joel Chesters, who's a quarterback, Yoon, who is linebacker, and Tom Ricketts, who is also linebacker. And I believe they are the Oxford captains for today.
Yeah, and on the Cambridge side, we've got James Tomling, the president, number 69, Alistair Wilson, who will be playing linebacker today, but has previously played cornerback and running back in these varsity games. Joe Cooper, who will also be defensive back, and then Max, the new German quarterback, who really has come on a long way this season, delivering some very impressive performances post-Christmas.
Tails it is. What are you going to do? You're going to receive. And which end are you going to go to? You're going to kick that way. Okay, if you turn round. Cambridge have won the toss and they will receive. Okay, and guys, shake hands, back to the sideline and let's get this done.
Just a correction there, number 3 is actually Saketh, the Oxford University club president.
So Cambridge, I think, won the toss there and have elected to receive the kickoff, and they'll be playing from left to right as we look on the stream. Charles Kelly alone on the field, looking confused at the moment.
Richard. 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 So deaf.
Cambridge today, unfortunately, without their German stud receiver, Marius Brockhoff, who's led the team in receiving yards with 375 receiving yards this season across only, I think, 5 games, which is a very impressive return at this level of football. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cambridge passing game goes without him out there catching the balls.
And it's out of bounds from Oxford.
Get out of bounds, kicking team, penalty 5 yards, move back, re-kick.
So that looks like a 5-yard penalty for kicking it out of bounds, and they've opted for a re-kick. I think slightly confusing start to the game there, but Joel Chesters is going to have another go now.
A good kick from Joel, and it's a touchback. I believe Cambridge will be starting on the 20-yard line. So Daniel, last year Cambridge had a more run-heavy game when it came to varsity. What do you think their approach is going to be today?
I think with the conditions, they might look to pass it. It's interesting to see because the offense has struggled at times this season. So, but typically it's an entirely new game plan for Varsity, and so there's no telling that what we'll see today is going to be based on what we've seen so far this season. Starting with a run up the middle, I think that's Gabriel Aston with making 5 yards to begin with. Cambridge will be very pleased with that. Definitely establishing the run early on will be important for any momentum Cambridge can get in this game. So a few more runs like that will go a long way to bringing the Oxford linebackers down and opening up the pass.
A good stop from Oxford. I think just a couple of yards gain. And I believe that tackle was made by Yoon, who was the Defensive Player of the Year last year for Oxford, showing why he's an important player for the Oxford defense.
Third and 5 now, so we're maybe more likely to see a pass here. Cambridge to air it out probably for the first time. No, another run round the outside. And that looks good for first down, but there's a flag on the far side.
There were some good yards after contacts that I think just took him over the first down marker. But let's see what the flag is for.
Holding, 62 Cambridge. 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
So as we can see, there was a holding call, and unfortunately for Cambridge, that means they're going to have to replay third down, going 10 yards back. How do you think this might impact them mentally, having had a good almost first down?
Well, it's a big loss, obviously, to if this play doesn't get a first down. Going 3 and out at the start can be quite demoralising. Getting a first down early is always a big boost. But Cambridge have shown already that they can move the ball, so at least they can take confidence if they do come off the field here.
Ooh. Nice reception.
That was Isaac Baxter with the first reception of the game for 15 yards and a first down, I think. Cambridge will be very pleased with that.
That is a great response to what would have had to be a punt had they not made the yardage. So that was a good response from Cambridge, and I'm sure they'll be feeling motivated after getting that first down.
Yeah, so in the end, that's exactly the opposite effect. That will be a big boost to make a large completion like that on third down. Gabriel Aston up the middle once more with a bit of room.
What type of season has Gabriel had? He seems to be a key running back for Cambridge's offense.
Yeah, so Gabriel's handled a lot of the workload for this year for Cambridge. He's had 42 carries across 5 games, which actually leads the team in carries by quite a lot, for 126 yards with an average of 2.6. So not too many big plays, but he's really been the workhorse back for Cambridge this year. A rookie last year, he's really grown into the role, and he's, as we see here, he takes the carries up the middle and makes the hard yards for Cambridge. Yeah, Max not seeing anything open there and just finding some green grass.
Oxford making a change on their front line, I think taking out Archie and bringing in rookie Victor, I believe. Victor has started off the season well.
Third and 8 now, back to pass again.
There's a deep ball.
Wide
Almost
open.
a big reception.
Just dropped on the near sideline.
It seems that Cambridge are going to punt after that. Failure to make the first down on the reception.
But good to see Cambridge coming out aggressive out of the box, throwing some deeper passes.
Thank you. Timeout called. Cambridge. It's the first timeout of the half.
What do you think Oxford must be thinking after having forced Cambridge into a 3 and out?
Well, obviously they're going to be pleased. As a defence, all that counts is making the stop, and getting Cambridge stopped so deep on the field, it's going to probably result in some good field position for Oxford. But Cambridge have shown that they can move the ball. And so it's not been a totally dominant defensive performance so far, so we're looking at an exciting start at least. Good field position for Cambridge too on that punt.
So Oxford will be starting their drive on the 22-yard line. Hopefully looking to capitalize on a good first drive from the defense.
So obviously for Cambridge it's nice that you're no longer in the Oxford offense, David, but who can we expect to see making some plays for them now?
I think Cambridge are well aware of Joel and his strength in the throw and also his quickness with the feet, so they can make sure to contain him on when he scrambles, but also need to make sure that they cover the wide receivers, as we saw last year in some big receiving passes that Joel was able to make. I think as well on the front line there are some returners. We have Josh at left tackle, who's a seasoned Lancer now in his 4th year, who has gone so far as to play with the GB All-Stars. And I think that left side would be a strong side for Oxford to exploit, knowing Josh's strengths.
Oxford with an empty backfield here, so no running back in on the play.
There's a pull from Joel.
Joel's pulled it and shown early on he's willing to use his legs today. Good deception on the handoff there. Now I heard rumours before the game that Josh might actually be making the switch from dark to light, as he may be coming to Cambridge next year. So we might be able to expect to see him lining up on the other side in this fixture next year in Oxford, which will be a big boost for the Cambridge line.
Absolutely, and I think in any team it's helpful when you're coming in as a rookie, having players around you who have played before to share the experience they've gained with the rest of the team. Nice pass and good reception and good yards after contact. A big play from Oxford. Great pass from Joel and a great reception.
Cambridge will be disappointed to give up such a big play so early, but they know that Joel's got the talent to hurt them like that. Eventually brought down by Joby Cosgrave there.
There's a fake once again, and big hit on Joel, who managed to stand his ground and still gain an extra yard after contact.
Joel showing early on that he's willing to run hard and run often. That's Jez Brown there, crucially making the stop despite the big hit. He did force Joel out of bounds, which is all you need.
And a good pass and a great reception, and it's a touchdown. What a first drive from Oxford. I believe that was 4 plays. 4 plays.
Yeah,
and
I think so. Cambridge will be very disappointed to leave such a big hole as that. Breakdown in communication in the defense there.
And I believe that's 2 receptions from number 16, Iyame. Good strength to shake off the tackle and still manage to get into the end zone. And also what we saw there was some of Joel's gifting. Off of the back foot, still able to throw a touchdown pass, almost, what, 40 yards.
The extra point is up and good, so that's Cambridge 0, Oxford 7, midway through the first quarter.
So after that first drive, how did Cambridge bounce back? How did they respond?
Well, they've got to remain confident. I mean, they showed early on they can move the ball, they can make plays today, but they've got to defensively make sure that that can't happen again. That was all too easy for Oxford there with that wide open receiver.
Having both receptions go to number 16, I'm sure Cambridge will be warning their defense to pay attention to him in the rest of the game.
Joel to kick off again. And once again, he's gone deep into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback again, Cambridge to come out on the 20-yard line. Cambridge will be looking for a bit more on this drive, so we'll see what offensive coordinator Coach Wallace can cook up. He was head coach here 2 years ago and masterminded a famous victory, so hopefully he's got something like that coming here now. Back to pass, and Max has gone long over the top again. Not much open there for Cambridge. Cambridge running left, but met immediately in the backfield. I think that's Gabriel Aston held up again, putting in the hard yards.
It was a good stop from Oxford's defense. In Oxford's defense on the front line, they've got Tom Dingwall, who is now in his third year playing with the Lancers, actually transitioned from wide receiver to defensive end and has shown over the last 2 years what he can do on the line. And we've got some rookies stepping in. We've got Beauclair, number 50, and we've got Archie, number 77, who have been crucial for Oxford this year on the defensive line.
3rd and long now.
And we've got a blitz and a sack in the backfield from Yoon.
Perfectly timed blitz there from number 89. That's Adi Bakari, tight end and defensive lineman, coming through and getting to Nick just as he received the ball.
And Ade is actually a rookie starting American football just this season, and the team no doubt have expressed how excellent he has been on the front line and sealing those edges with his speed and with his power, which he just displayed now. I believe there was a flag on the play.
Looks like a false
start.
start.
Offense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
So we're going to have a re-kick now. Jake Edwards, the kicker for Cambridge, has only joined the team very recently, so I believe this is his first game. But I was watching him in the warm-ups, and he looks like he's got a good leg on him. So we'll see what he can do here to get some good field position for Cambridge.
Cambridge should be careful here, punting from the 1.
Oh, and the kick's being returned.
Good reception again from Guillaume. He has started off the game very well. 2 big receptions and being on high alert to catch that short punt and make some extra yards back.
Very well chased down and tackled there by Charlie Wright, the defensive lineman.
Cambridge now have a big job to do. Oxford are starting their drive on the 37-yard line, which means that they can't have any rooms for slip-ups.
Man in motion, and it's handed off. Oxford have gone for the reverse trick play, and it's fumbled.
But it's recovered. That is a big play from Cambridge, and that is exactly what they needed to drive Oxford back all the way down to Oxford's own 42, and this must surely motivate Cambridge now to come out strong and to finish strong as well.
That's a fantastic play by Charles Kelly, getting off the line quickly to break that up before the second handoff could be thrown. Do you think that's a case of Oxford trying to do too much too early, David?
You can see what they've tried to do there. They've tried to have a motion and then also pitch it back to a player running in the other direction. Had it had worked, there was lots of space there to be run into, but it looked like it didn't work for them.
Now a change at quarterback there for Oxford. Joel Chester still on the field, but not taking the snap. That was Ethan Caldecott throwing the ball there, who's listed as quarterback / wide receiver. So having a utility player like that gives Oxford the opportunity to mix things up a bit there. Cambridge probably expecting a run from a wildcat formation.
Oxford now on 3rd and 25. They're going to need something big here on this play in order for them to rescue this drive. And he's scrambling. There's space to run into. And that is unfortunately incomplete. Ari just again missing the catch. And I think based on how far he needs to go to get first down, is definitely going to be a punt from Oxford. This has to be encouraging for Cambridge.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fantastically big play to stop that trick play from Oxford and force them back. Definitely Cambridge can take some heart from that. Interesting to see Ethan throwing the ball there again and not Joel. Oxford clearly trust both their quarterbacks today. Solid punt from Joel there, and it's up and left by Alistair. Will that stop into the end zone for a touchback? Good decision in the end. Oxford very close to downing that on the 1 yard line, but Cambridge are fortunate enough that they're going to have a decent starting field position now.
As the defense come on, there's mostly unchanged from the defense that started at the beginning. Seems like Oxford are relying on a lot of their strong defensive personnel.
Cambridge appear to be missing an offensive lineman. Here he comes now. That's Hao Zhang, the right guard, running onto the field.
Quick snap from Cambridge. I believe they caught Oxford defense off guard. Almost able to utilize the space that was made.
That's Nick and Tira Hungwa in the backfield for Cambridge now. So Gabriel Aston out and Nick taking a quick snap and making a couple of yards there. Nice juke to make the first man miss. Cambridge clearly hoping to move the ball steadily here. Going for short yardage plays at the moment. And it's run left again. Nick taking there. That looks like it's a first down, Cambridge.
That was a great tackle from Iomi. Iomi to another player that transitioned from playing wide receiver to playing defense.
Once again running wide, Cambridge sealing the edge very well there to make a hole for Nick.
5 yard penalty, replay second down.
A 5 yard penalty there for Cambridge for having too many men in the backfield. It's a shame because those yards gained will now no longer apply, but hopefully they can replicate and take that momentum from the last 2 snaps and make positive yardage again.
Cambridge offense have really hurt themselves with the penalties starting in this game, unfortunately. Oh, bit of trickery from Cambridge with a reverse handoff.
And space on the edge.
Run down the sideline.
Big play from Cambridge and great response after the penalty.
That's number 86, Jake Edwards, also the kicker with a fantastic run up the sideline there. Great way to make back those penalty yards.
Some good outfield blocking to create extra space on the outside so that Cambridge could get those extra yards on that play.
Edwards has done very well there to read his block and pick the right side on the outside to get the extra yards.
That play was very reminiscent of 2 years ago where Cambridge had a similar play that ran along that same edge but instead went all the way to the house. Good stop from Oxford.
James Tomling, number 69 there, pulling around to his right. I tell you what, that's a fearsome sight, seeing him coming around the corner.
But it's a reassuring sight as a running back when you've got to put in guards to run behind.
Oh, yeah.
Second and 8.
Screen pass short to Cambridge.
And he runs back into traffic and sadly gets tackled again.
No real ground gain there for Cambridge, unfortunately. So it's going to be 3rd and long again.
Let's see what happens then again. It's a good awareness from Beauclair, number 50. Sorry, from Michael, number 50.
Coming to the end of the first quarter here. Not sure if we'll get this snap in before the whistle goes.
Blitz coming.
And
a good scramble from the quarterback. And a good hit as well.
Hit just short of the first down.
It was a great play from Cambridge. Good heads up from the quarterback to see the pressure coming and to make use of the space on the outside.
That's a very good hit from Hudson Baird there, just to stop Cambridge getting that first down. And that signal means it is the end of the first quarter. So the teams will swap sides now and we'll play again from 4th and 2, I believe.
What do you make of the first quarter so far, Daniel?
Well, I think it's Oxford taking the lead is obviously what we expected, and the Oxford offense did find it easy, but Cambridge have shown some fight and they've come back from that and they've moved the ball here with a couple of big plays, so it's encouraging signs that maybe we do have a game on our hands.
What do you think the Oxford coaches will be telling them in their huddle right now before they go out for the second quarter?
I think they'll be confident. I think they've shown that on offense they've got enough to move the ball, but they're also going to be saying not to get too confident this early, as we saw with that trick play that Oxford attempted to run that ended up costing them 20 yards.
Just looking again now at the replay of the second touchdown that was scored, of the first touchdown that was scored, and again seeing Joel throwing off of his back foot.
That is really where he excels. He does well to make space for himself to make those kind of throws. So Cambridge need to find some way to get pressure on him if they want to stop him doing that all day. And stop short of the first down. That was Gabriel Aston again, unfortunately, I think just for 1 yard. So it's going to be a turnover on downs exactly on the halfway line.
And it's a great tackle from Beauclair, who's also starting out with the Lancers for the first time this year. Getting past his blocker and getting through to make the tackle. Looking at the size matchup between the Oxford Lancers front line and Cambridge's defensive line, it doesn't seem to be a clear difference as there was last year.
Yes, last year it was definitely an obvious size difference, but it's still looking like a fearsome battle, and Joel does well to escape the pressure, throwing to his left just over the top of his favourite target, number 16.
Just throwing a bit too high there again. Good heads up play to scramble, to notice the pressure.
Samuel Altus wearing number 70 coming off the edge there to at least put some pressure on Joel. He's difficult to keep in the pocket though. Did you find that last year playing defensive end in training?
I think even playing as a running back, you find that it's difficult to keep him in the pocket because you're supposed to be blocking for him and you realize he's nowhere to be found. But one of the things that's good is that Joel is a quick runner. As playing running back, the number of sacks your quarterback gets are kept quite low because your quarterback is good at scrambling. So it looks good on our stats.
Yeah.
That was good protection from Oxford, giving Joel time in the pocket, but again, just throwing a bit too high. He's 3rd and 10. Oxford do need some positive yardage here in order to keep this drive going.
Joel back to pass again. Plenty of time this time.
Again.
Sam,
good protection and good running into the space from
Joel's
Joel.
off, but there's a flag
again
down.
using his feet.
Fantastic run from Joel there.
And making a good run.
Let's see what the flag's for.
Holding, number 71 blue, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That's a big blow for Oxford. 3rd and 20, they're going to need something just as special, if not more special, in this snap in order to make back the yards that were lost.
But we saw it again there. It's good penetration from the Cambridge defensive line, but it's just not enough with 3 men to keep Joel in the pocket.
That was a holding call on number 71, Freddie Hawkins.
All the time in the world here for Joel. And
Great
he's gone
protection.
deep. He's got a man open.
Oh! That is unlucky. And I don't think anyone needs to tell Kelly about that miss. You can see by his response how distraught he was that he didn't make that.
Yeah, the fine margin's not quite going for Oxford at the moment.
Let's see that again. All the time in the pocket Joel had.
That really is a fantastic throw, right on the money from that distance.
Funny enough for Oxford at varsity 4 years ago, or 3 years ago in 2021, Kelechi scored a similar touchdown with quarterback Will Szymanski, and that actually was...
Oh, and it's a fake. Joel's taking off to his right, his left, sorry. And he's good for a
good
first
run
down.
from Joel.
He's going to go all the way.
And he's taking it to the house. What a big play from Joel. And that is what having a talent like Joel on your team can do. That you cannot give him any space because he will punish you for it.
There's a flag down in the middle of the field.
And I think what we saw there was the lack of consistent pressure along Cambridge's front line allowed Joel time in the pocket and space really to open up behind them. It was very important when defending to defend as a line when on punt so that the gaps don't open up in behind, which is exactly what we saw in that last play.
Illegal use of hands, number 7 offense, 10 yards, repeat 4th down.
That is a big blow to Oxford. After such a big play, having that brought back again.
Correction, automatic. Correction, 1st down.
So it looks like the penalty was during the return after the first down. So Oxford will keep the ball and they will have a fresh set of downs, but the touchdown is going to be wiped off the board. That is just devastating.
But at the same time, it's going to be encouraging for Cambridge knowing they have another opportunity to stop Oxford.
Do you think that would have been a called fake punt, David, or do you think Oxford just give Joel the ability to make that decision if he sees something he likes in front of him?
I think as mentioned, the front line of Cambridge's defense on that punt didn't press together. I think there was only one person who hit the wall behind, and that really opened up the space behind.
It's a bit more trickery from Oxford there, a nice reverse. Good for another first down.
Even though the score is 7-0, I believe this is the first time Oxford are just almost approaching the red zone. So let's see how Oxford's short yardage situations work out, as it's mostly been big plays up until now. And let's see if Cambridge can really stop Oxford on the short yardage situations as they approach the end zone.
Leo Costi into the defensive line for Cambridge now.
There's a motion.
And it's handed off. Running around the outside, lots of space again.
Good from Ari. And able to make those extra yards after contact. That was a good step from Ari, but there's a flag on the play.
Hurry! Switch now, Sam. Yeah. Switch. Holding. Number 3, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Penalties really costing both sides so far in this game.
Absolutely. As we see number 3 there holding on at the last minute.
So it looks like 1st and 12 here now for Oxford.
There's the motion.
Joel going back to his
reception.
right.
And he runs back across. Kelly with his speed. There's space on the outside. And I believe he's ruled out at the 2. That was a great effort from Kelly, but good pressure from Cambridge's defense to make sure that they didn't give him an easy chance into the end zone. Hopefully we'll get another look at that again in slow motion and see whether or not he was out of bounds. That is close, that is close. It's quite hard to see from here whether his foot had touched the line, but all in all, still a great attempt and good opportunity for Oxford to capitalize now on 1st and goal.
Joel holds it,
Joel
goes
pulls
himself and walks it in.
Walks it in. Another touchdown for Oxford. I think if you ask Joel whether he would have preferred the fake punt or the 1-yard rush, I think he might take the fake punt option as for his highlight reel, but nonetheless, Oxford are now up 13-0. And let's see whether they can convert now on the conversion.
That's ended up as a very long drive for Oxford. How does it affect you being on the field that long as a defensive player, David?
I think particularly with the penalties, it can cause fatigue. I think actually the holding calls that we saw can be a sign of fatigue from players where they don't have the energy to hold on their block for that much longer or to keep up with their defenders.
The extra point is up and good, so that's 14-0 to Oxford now.
It's still a 2-score game. Cambridge are still very much in it. We're only in the 2nd quarter of the game. But hopefully they can begin to get their offense moving before the end of the 1st half so that And you come into the second half, narrowing the margins and able to bring Oxford back.
The Cambridge defensive players coming off the field there, looking hot and tired. Out there in the heat, being on the field for so long really can get to you.
Still 10 minutes left of the second quarter. There's still plenty of time here for either Oxford to extend their lead in the first half or for Cambridge to get something back in before the first half ends. Knowing Joel has hit 2 touchbacks, I think it would be good for Cambridge's 2 receivers to step further back. Let's see if he manages to kick it back again.
Yes, it doesn't look like Cambridge have much intention of returning this at the moment.
A good kick from Joel.
The shorter squib, so we will see a return.
And there's a good run up the middle. Ooh, and I believe the ball came out at the end. Let's see whether or not it's ruled as a fumble and Oxford recovery or whether he was ruled as down. I believe number 32 for down on that play. Seems like Lenny has maybe picked up an injury.
That was Jez Brown on the return for Cambridge, and it looks like it's been ruled a Cambridge ball, so he didn't let go of that until he was already down.
Got to be encouraging for Cambridge, their best starting field position of the day on the 33-yard line.
Yes, definitely slightly shorter field, much better result than a touchback. Maybe not quite how Joel intended to kick that one, but Cambridge can benefit from that now.
It looks like Lenny is walking off of the pitch. I believe this is his first year with the Lancers, and hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can still return to the field.
Now James Tomling in motion there for Cambridge, so they've moved him from guard to wing back.
Again is a run, and I believe he returned to the line of scrimmage, but I don't think any positive yards there for Cambridge on that run play.
James Tomling doing his best impression of both Kelsey brothers now in this game, having played offensive line and tight end.
Let's see what formation Cambridge are going to come out with now.
Yeah, so James still in at tight end or wing, so it looks like a heavier package for Cambridge. Let's see if we see another run.
There's a pass. Ooh, good
Max
pressure from
evades
Archie.
the pressure
Tries
well.
to get the throw off, but sadly no one to receive. Good attempt from Cambridge.
Cambridge not quite finding the space down the field with their receivers at the moment. Max is struggling to pick someone out, but it's encouraging that they're still confident in their passing game to keep sending these plays in.
So Daniel, at least for Oxford, there are quite a few Lancers for whom it's their last game playing and their last varsity. And for both of us last year was our last varsity. How do you think that plays into the motivation in playing out there in varsity?
Well, it's a big part, obviously, because it's sad when it's your last game. I think last year I knew that was a lot of my motivation. I didn't want to finish on a low.
A near sack and an interception. A great reception from number 38.
We've got another flag down there at the point of the interception.
Could have been a wide receiver. Well, there's a flag on the play. Let's see what the flag is for.
Pass interference. Defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, that is a big call. That is a big call. I'd like to see that one again.
Let's see it again. I see that right there from number 22. There was a push on Cambridge's wide receiver just before he had contested for the ball with Oxford's number 30, who intercepted the ball, I believe.
Oh, what a run.
Oh, big hit from Cambridge, and great yards after carry. That was a good run.
That was Cameron Round in at running back for Cambridge, also playing defensive line today.
That is a statement hit. It is quite humbling getting knocked back on your back after going in for a tackle. And more of the same from Cambridge, I'm sure, will rally the boys and help them on this drive in order to get one back.
That's exactly the kind of play Cambridge need for a possible momentum shift. That will really get them going on the sideline to see a play like that. Fantastic run from Cameron Round there.
It seems Oxford's Charlie is down injured at the moment. Funnily enough, Charlie actually played for Cambridge some years back and is now repping dark blue.
Charlie is one of the few players to cross the sea, if you like, as we heard Joshua may do next year. How do you feel it would be to do that? Could you ever see yourself in a PhD playing for Cambridge?
That would be quite interesting emotionally. I think that internal conflict of having played for Oxford for 4 years and then playing for Cambridge, I think that would be internally quite conflicting. But I think for the sake of the sport between two universities, I think it would be great actually to invest in Cambridge's American football team as well, and hopefully that's something that Josh would be able to do in moving to Cambridge and being able to support the work they do there, either through playing or I believe he's also considering coaching as well, and that would be a huge plus for American football.
Yeah, that would be a big boost for the Cambridge Pythons.
Ooh. And it's a fumble. It looks like it may have been recovered by Oxford. Let's see what the referee rules on the field.
Looks like it's going to go Oxford's way, this. Yeah.
And it's recovered by Oxford. And that's the beauty of American football. Things can just turn in the blink of an eye, in the space of a play. You go from being encouraged and having won the ball. And it's so important for offensive players and defensive players to always be aware when a tackle is made, because a ball might be loose, the offensive player might not be holding onto it securely, and it's always important to have your head on a swivel, because just like we saw there, that the ball is there to be won.
Good tackle there from Charles Kelly. Does well to hang on and limit them to a 2-yard gain there.
I believe Ethan is back at quarterback. That was a good attempt there to run into the space that was made, but also great from Cambridge's defense to be able to see the quarterback rushing through the lines and to let go of his block and to make the tackle. He has time. Good fake.
And that might be enough for the first down.
And take those extra yards.
Yeah, first down to Oxford. Cambridge seems to have switched to a 4-front on the defensive line now, maybe an attempt to bring some extra pressure on the quarterback. But once again, we're seeing the rolling quarterback finding time and space to use his feet.
For Oxford at centre, we have Glenn. Glenn, who is in his 6th year now for the Lancers. And Oxford at centre had Stuart Humble, who was the president of the club for the last 5 years. And this is the first time in 6 years that Oxford are playing with a different centre at varsity.
Going deep, and it's got a man open.
And it is a great throw and a great reception again from Guillaume. That was great patience shown from Ethan, and it was great to pick out Guillaume, who has again found himself in space.
Was that the same play we saw for the first touchdown? I think it might have been. Yeah, same play again. We had a slant on the outside, pulling down the defensive back, and then the wheel route from the slot, just finding that space over the top.
I think Guillaume is probably upwards of, or if not past, 100 yards now receiving for today's game, and we're still in the first half. He's having a great game as someone who's just joined the Lancers for the first year, and I'm sure throughout the season he's been a big help to Oxford in being able to make big plays such as that and to be able to carry the team over the line in what has been a challenging year for the Lancers in Division 1.
You did get the opportunity to play in Division 1 last year for the Lancers. How big is the step from Division 2 to Division 1?
I think definitely Division 1 is a lot more challenging. And in Division 1 you come across teams who have been established in Division 1 for a long time, teams who have been competing in the Premiership and who have just come down to Division 1, and teams like ourselves who had been in Division 2 for a while and after having a good season in Division 2 get promoted. And so definitely it is a step up in intensity, it's a step up in difficulty, and I think that's evidenced by even the score lines that were presented. A lot of games having less than 10 points per team, and I think that means mistakes are punished a lot easier. Players have to start the game with high intensity and not take time to get into it. But I think having last year in Division 1, Oxford are definitely reaping the rewards this year as they had a record-breaking season in the most number of wins they've had in Division 1 before. There's a good reception from Cambridge and some good yards returned.
That was Ayo Akande on the return there, taking Cambridge back up to the 32. So similar field position to the last drive they had. And it was talked about before the game with the Oxford defensive coordinator, the importance of turnovers today. That touchdown came straight off the back.
5 yards tackle. First down.
That touchdown came straight off the back of the fumble by Cambridge, so the turnover and the mistake in the backfield really proving costly for Cambridge there.
Less than 3 minutes to go now in the second quarter. Hopefully again Cambridge can utilize this time with maybe even using their timeouts and the 2-minute warning to be able to make the most out of these last couple of minutes in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think Cambridge will need to put some points on the board on this drive if they want to come into the second half with a bit of confidence and a chance in this game.
Quick snap again from Cambridge, but again, Oxford's offensive line breaking through and able to make a stop in the backfield. Let's see who was able to make the tackle. Again, off of the edge. I believe that is Ade, Oxford's rookie, who has again proven to be very beneficial for Oxford this season. I believe that's 2 tackles for losses he's made.
Hold
now
it. 69 on the offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
There's another penalty.
We really have had a lot of flags today. This one's against James Tomling for the Pythons, holding. So we're going back. Stays as first down, but 1st and 20.
Good time in the pocket and a good reception.
Oh, fantastic spin move. Puts Cambridge back in touching distance of a first down now. That, I think, was Jake Edwards again.
That was a great move, and it was quick release from Cambridge's quarterback as the pressure was coming.
Really
I think that's
good.
exactly what Cambridge are going to need. They're going to need some more intensity. They're going to need some quickness. They're going to really need to bring it to Oxford.
2-minute warning. Cambridge, you've got 2 timeouts left.
So there we have it, 2 minutes to go in the first half.
2-minute warning. Oxford, you've got all 3 timeouts left.
Plenty of timeouts remaining though, so we can expect to see lots more play before the half time.
With just 2 minutes left, we expect Cambridge to utilize more of the pass game now. That was a good handoff. Let's see if he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, as he does. Good run, good yards, and well done to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Fantastic running there by Nick and Tirangwa. Although we've got another flag.
Okay. Illegal block in the back. Offense, 10 yards. Replay, second down. What number was it marked in?
Let's see what happened there. It was a good handoff. It seems there was a block in the back.
Couldn't spot it on the replay there.
Yeah, and there's still time in this drive for Cambridge to get something back before the end of the half.
Cambridge going long, and he's got a man open.
And
oh.
Almost. Unlucky from Cambridge. It was wide open in space.
Really good pocket presence from Max there to avoid the rush and step up. Unfortunately just couldn't find the ball in the air, but that's the first time Cambridge have found a man open in that sort of space down the field, so that's encouraging signs. 3rd and long now, so we can expect to see another deep shot from Cambridge here.
just a 3 front now from Oxford as they anticipate the pass and push more defenders out into second and third level. And so Cambridge tried to make use of the lack of men up front and go for the run, but Oxford managed to stop them before they gained positive yardage. It'll be interesting to see what Cambridge do here. With just 90 seconds left of the half, they can either punt and risk giving it back to Oxford to maybe get a score before the end of the first half, or maybe they might go for it and try and see if they can get to the first down and nick something before the end of the first half.
It looks like we're going to see a punt here. I think the quarterback's come off and they've got Jake back there to receive it. With Oxford's timeouts, I think that's just too long to give Oxford the ball in such good field position.
There's a good punt from Cambridge.
Very solid punt. That'll be down around the 15-yard line, which is probably Oxford's worst field position of the day.
Now is the time when game management and player IQ becomes very important. With just 82 seconds left on the clock and 3 timeouts, Oxford can really punish Cambridge here and get in a score before the end of the first half. And if they do, it'll be a big blow for Cambridge, who are looking to maybe claw something back in the second half.
Yeah, it's crucial for Cambridge that they don't give up any more points here. But it's a long field, so if they can avoid the big play, that hopefully will be enough to stop them before the half. Joel back in at quarterback for this drive.
And it's offside against Cambridge, extra 5 yards. Looking to the second half, what do you think Cambridge need to do in order for them to get a result here today?
Well, obviously the first thing is stopping the big play. Oxford have run the same play twice with that deep pass and scored on it twice. So Cambridge need to clue into how they're going to deal with that in the second half. And then it's about executing for Cambridge. They had that deep pass just now that was centimetres away from being a deep connection and possibly a touchdown.
89 blue.
But it's also the penalties, and that's true for both teams, but the penalties have really pulled back a few big plays today. If Cambridge can cut those out and stop the big passing plays from Oxford, they can at least put themselves in a chance of launching some kind of a comeback in this second half.
Here Oxford go again. Nice pass and nice catch. Will that be ruled as complete, or did he drop the ball? I believe they're ruling that as complete.
Safi Oshoala was in there quickly with the tackle there and did knock the ball out.
It was a good catch from Saka, and it was great composure to hold onto the ball and to not drop it after the contact. Good pocket from Oxford. Joel is scrambling again. Gone for the one-hander. There's also a flag on the play.
Holding, 89, offense. 10-yard penalty. 10-yard penalty, it's a 5-yard penalty, half the distance. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
He got there in the end. I think that's something that Oxford definitely needs to be careful of going into the second half. There have been a lot of penalties for them in this first half, and heading into the second half already up, there's a temptation to lose your composure and to lose your head and to give away more penalties. So hopefully Oxford will go away at the half time and they will compose themselves and get themselves ready to see out the game. All the time in the world in the pocket. And
steps up and goes deep.
Oh. It was a great throw and just unlucky there by Paquette once again.
Joel really has delivered for Oxford today, and his receivers haven't quite been able to help him out at a few times here. Maybe the 4th or 5th drop we've seen from the Oxford team today. When the offensive line can give Joel that kind of time in the pocket, and he's got that level of an arm to find players that far downfield, it really is difficult for the Cambridge defensive backs to cover for that long.
Absolutely. Again, good time in the pocket. And a good block from Ale. And Joe again showing us what he can do. And taken out of bounds there. Just after the halfway.
Eventually dragged down by 21, Alistair Wilson, but not before gaining 30, 35 yards on that play.
Oxford.
As mentioned, there's a timeout from Oxford. They have 2 timeouts left. And I'm sure they're trying to see if they can squeeze in a touchdown before the end of the first half. Let's look again and see what Joe was able to do just now. I say, playing alongside Joel and seeing him run outfield with the ball in his hand like that, it does do something to your blood pressure as you see him get nearly tackled time and time again. Let's see, Oxford still have 2 timeouts left, but I'm sure they're trying to look for something quite special here in order to get in a touchdown. There's still 47 yards left to the end zone.
Joel rolling to his right immediately, heavy pressure this time, throws against the pressure, and it's caught. Another first down.
And good to get out of bounds again, stop the clock and gain some extra yards.
Joel quite happy to throw back across his body as well, which really opens up the possibilities for him here.
Good heads up from Ari to be able to track back and still receive that ball and turn again upfield.
Incredibly difficult for Cambridge to cover the whole field when the quarterback's rolling like that.
Rolling. It's a good throw and it's a great catch just at about the 2-yard line again from Ari. That was great heads up play, catch the ball. I believe both of his feet were inbounds. Let's look at that again. But so much space there on the right hand side for Joel to run into. Oh, and there we just saw Ari with the heads up play to make sure both his feet were down before he went out of bounds.
Joel is so comfortable throwing on the run, it's giving a really difficult job for the Cambridge defensive line to get any pressure at all on him.
going to require something big from Cambridge to stop Oxford with 2 timeouts and being on 1st and goal. He's rolling, there's pressure, and there's a catch again from Yame. I believe that's his 3rd touchdown of the day. It's great from Oxford, good game management to be able to get the ball back inside of 2 minutes and to be able to drive it up the field and to be able to score before the end of the first half. It just pushes victory that bit further out of reach for Cambridge, but again, if Oxford can score 4 in the first half, there's nothing to say Cambridge still can't put it back in the second. Oh, it's 3 for 3 for extra points today. Let's see if he's able to get the ball. And he does. There's a bit of pressure coming from the outside, but Joel still with composure able to get it through.
What do you think the Oxford coaches will be saying to their players at half-time?
I think that they will obviously be pleased with the result, but I think they'll be still disappointed with some of the penalties and points that have been left from the field. That definitely Oxford know that they can do better than what they've been doing, even though it has been great. They have 4 touchdowns up, and that's fantastic, but definitely I think they will be hitting themselves that they've cost themselves penalties, holding calls, fumbles, and they will surely want to make sure that they are crisp in the second half and show what they really can do.
Cambridge returners are still standing very high up, so a good kick from Joel will put the ball well over the top of them as they line up on the 20-yard line.
A good kick from Joel. That is a good reception. Let's see, there is space on this outside.
Back to return it and forcing through the extra yards. Getting almost the 35-yard line again for Cambridge.
Again, making it past the 30-yard line on Cambridge's return. I believe Cambridge still have 2 timeouts, so there's nothing to say they can't do something special here.
Cambridge handing off to Cameron Round there again, who's done another fantastic job to stay on his feet, battle through the tackles and pick up 4 or 5 yards there when it looked like he might lose 1 or 2.
I believe that's the half. Well done to both Oxford and Cambridge in the first half. Although a one-sided fixture, there have been glimpses of what can be with Cambridge, and there have also been glimpses of what Oxford can be when they go and their heads are on and they manage to nail down all the penalties that they've left out there.
I think we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from the first half now. We'll see the touchdowns again.
So again, seeing that same play where Joel scrambles round to the right. And Yame on a wheel route, managing to pick it up at the end.
So same play again now. There we see Joel making the space for himself and just lofting one up there when it's that wide open. Cambridge making it easy for Oxford on that play.
This is the second touchdown where Joel rushed in on the left-hand side after Oxford had a big drive all the way down to the red zone and able to run it in. Next again, we're going to see a similar touchdown to the first. I think this play has really hurt Cambridge today.
Different quarterback, but the exact same play. Another big throw over the top, lots of space to that wheel route from the slot.
As we look back at it, we can see there's some good coverage from some good blocking from Oxford's front line there, and giving Ethan a long time in the pocket to be able to have the time to make an accurate throw there again to Game. I believe this is Game's third touchdown. Again, seeing a 5 and out and finding the space on the outside again. I think again, looking to the second half, he's somebody that Cambridge, I think, would want to keep an eye on and make sure that they've got covered. And that's it for the first half. We now have Miles, who's going to interview one of the Oxford players now. Sending it down to you, Miles.
Hi, I'm here with number 16, making big plays today. Tell me a little bit about what your performance today means to you and the significance of it in terms of the varsity match.
So I've been told I've just tied the all-time receiving number of touchdown for the Lancers. So hopefully we're going for one more, and then I'm gonna let my plays for other players shine a little bit.
And what's your plan for getting that last one? How are you hoping to score that touchdown?
Well, what we've done so far has been good, so I think we're just gonna keep up with the game plan. But that's mostly it. I don't think we have anything specific for me to get it. But I mean, guys are cheering for me, and it's nice in the huddle and stuff. So yeah.
You don't have any special plays written up in the playbook for last-ditch effort situations?
I think we have, but we're keeping it in the playbook a little bit. Maybe in the second half we're going to show them. I don't know. Yeah.
They might be listening to this broadcast, so you don't want to let them know.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, and then in terms of your time at the Lancers,
yeah.
How does this game compare to the rest of your games and the other experiences you've had so far playing with the Lancers?
It's been just so far a great experience to be in Oxford and have the chance to play American football. I would say the biggest difference now is the temperature. It's very hot. It's very hot. We're all sweaty. We're all drinking a lot of water, but that's mostly the biggest difference, I would say.
And then how have you guys been dealing with that compared to them? Do you feel like you've slowed down a bit? Do you feel like they've slowed down a bit? How do you think that's been impacting the game so far?
I think it lets the chance for other players to play a little more because we're rotating and we're letting everyone play. But yeah, and it's nice. Also, another difference is it's nice to have a big crowd behind and cheering for us and for Cambridge as well.
Mostly for Oxford, I hope.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for your time. We've got our next interviewee lined up here.
Thank you.
How's it going, Coach?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yourself?
Going great. So you scored 28 points so far. How does it feel?
Yeah, no, it was a good half. I think that's what we hoped coming in. Having a good season, obviously getting to the Div 1 South final. This was the expectation that we set for ourselves. But obviously, you never know what turns up on the day, and we have to go out and execute. So we did that. The trick play we tried on the second start of the second drive didn't go quite as we planned. It could have gone a lot worse. But we came back and made some big plays. But we also left a lot of yards there as well. There's some hitches and slants there that we could have come back to, and so I think that's the focus in the second half.
And how have you seen the Cambridge defense compared to the other Division 1 defenses you've been playing this year in terms of both quality of play and physicality?
Yeah, I think they've been good up front. Our offense is designed a little bit to get outside the pocket, and I think they've adjusted to that a little bit second half or second quarter with defensive line and sort of moving to the edge a little bit more. I think at secondary they've gone to a quarters coverage, while early on we're in cover 6 and weren't quite adjusting to our quads. So yeah, I think that they've sort of maybe expected something different to what they've seen. I'm not sure, but no, they're a well-organised team. Yeah.
Well, that's always good if they don't expect what happened. The other question I have is we've seen a few offensive penalties called. What's the plan to sort of reduce those? And obviously we're still up by 28, but what impact do you think those are going to have in the second half?
Yeah, and that's the little things. We got to clean those up because that kills drives. And obviously, we want to put more points on the board. But if we don't clean those up, we're going to go 3 and out, and that's that's never the goal of an offense. And maybe they get a score, and it becomes a slightly different game. So yeah, cleaning up the holds, cleaning up those few penalties, and cleaning up those drops is always the goal going into a second half or a new drive.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
All right. And I guess we'll be back with you in a few minutes.
Okay, excellent.
Listen, I'm trying.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the 17th annual Varsity Bowl between Oxford University Lancers and Cambridge University Pythons. It's been an exciting first half, hasn't it, Daniel?
It has. It's been very similar to last year so far. I think it's the same half-time score at 28-0 to Oxford. Some very exciting big plays from Oxford, and Cambridge, again, not quite getting it done, showing signs of life, moving the ball, a few big plays here and there, but not quite enough to get any points on the board yet. So that's definitely going to be the target early for Cambridge in this second half.
Good kick from Cambridge to begin, and a good reception. And some good yards gained.
Running it back to the 35-yard line, but another great kick from Jake Edwards. He's been a fantastic find for Cambridge, both at kicker and at slot receiver for them today, with a big play in the first half.
Good stop and good effort from Yame to keep trying again and again and again to see if he can make those extra yards.
That's Joseph Cooper, number 4 for Cambridge, coming up to make the tackle there, using his body weight well to get low and make the stop.
Let's see whether Oxford have a slightly different game plan coming into the second half. Seeing as they're already up, I'm sure there'll be more personnel coming through, getting them some varsity game time. As you see, you've got Ethan at quarterback. He's already got 1 passing touchdown today. And a quick release, good reception, and a good move to make those extra yards.
Yeah, very nice move there from Abdul Hamid to make the first man miss.
That was good movement, quick feet, and good use of his hand there as well to get those extra yards even after getting tackled. Another 1st and 10 for Oxford.
That's the Jesus College duo of Joby Cosgrave and Jez Brown combining to make the stop there.
Ooh.
Same play again.
He comes off for Kelly, who almost had that big play again in the first half. You just saw that last moment, he took his eyes off of the ball as the pressure was coming. So it's good from Cambridge to make sure they put pressure on him, just cause him to lose focus there and cause him to drop the ball. Pressure coming from the backside.
Thrown it up deep. Oh, fantastic adjustment to make the catch.
Again.
Really fighting his way around the DB there, who was in excellent coverage but just lost the ball in the air.
As we'll see, I think the pass wasn't accurate to begin with, but good adjustment there from the receiver to be able to come back and to be able to receive the ball. And good power there in being able to still stay on his feet with 2 defenders trying to bring him down. Also go for the pass again, and there's a reception to Sakef, who's open and into the end zone. And just like that again on Oxford's first drive of the second half, they score again. And with yards of space, it was good movement from Sakef and great awareness from the quarterback to pick him out. And after 5 plays, I think Oxford managed to get into the end zone. You couldn't ask for a better start to the second half for Oxford.
Ethan Caldecott showing nice poise in the pocket there, just taking his time and waiting for a man to be open, trusting his line to give him that time to throw the ball, which they've done for him all day.
And it's a blocked kick. Joel's first miss of the day.
I think that was Joseph Cooper off the edge getting to the ball to block that. Good speed from him off the edge and then recovered by Jez Brown, number 41.
Well, now is Cambridge's opportunity to respond. Do you think we're going to see anything different from the offense as they come out on their first attempts?
Well, they know they're going to have to go for it here if they want to make something. I think the target for Cambridge now is to put some points on the board. The win is drifting further away, unfortunately, so I think they can't be conservative anymore, but it's going to be going back to what's worked for them. So if they can find that space down the field, then Max has got the arm to take a shot. And some of those outside runs have also been where Cambridge have found the yards. Cameron Strong also has had 2 carries coming in at running back, and they've both been big carries with big hits and driving men backwards. So Cambridge should look to go to him again in the second half, go to him more and more often.
It's a good kick from Jar.
Alistair Wilson
good reception
takes it cleanly back to return. Fights off the first tackle and gains another few yards. Cambridge up to the 37-yard line. That'll be a good starting position for them. They're furthest up of the game. Very nice return and big hit through that first tackle from Alistair Wilson. Gabriel Aston late to join the huddle there, but now Cambridge have 11 on the field again. Looking to pass early.
Just missed the catch there.
Isaac Baxter hit in the back there as the ball went through his hands.
Just a near miss there from both Cambridge receivers.
Good protection from the Cambridge offensive line there, though, double teaming the end to just give Max the time he needed to get that ball in and out of his hands. James Tomling back in the offensive line now, so no longer the heavy formation for Cambridge. Looking to pass again.
Pressure from Oxford.
Oh!
And it's a good rebound. Great awareness on Cambridge to be able to catch the rebound.
Isaac Baxter ending up with the ball there, although he wasn't the original intended target. I think through the hands of DH and then tipped by the Oxford defender as well, but there it is. Wow.
Well, there was good pressure from Oxford's number 27, Honor, who's also a rookie this year, who has made a statement season playing on Oxford's defensive line and putting pressure on the edge, as we saw there.
See if Cambridge can build on that first down now. Take them however they come.
They're going for the run, but a good stop from Oxford. And the ball is out. Let's see if he was ruled down.
Hard-nosed running again from Gable Aston, but met immediately by 2 defenders here. Cambridge need to find a way to get some shove on that right-hand side. Little mix-up in communication there with the half-back just blocking the wrong man, I think, leaving someone unblocked off the edge.
Good from Victor and Freddie, Oxford's number 64 and 71, who are able to break through the line there and to be able to stop the running back from making any positive yards.
Second down now, and Cambridge stacking the right-hand side of the field here.
Although that was ruled as down, I think looking back at the replay in slow motion, that looks like it could have been a fumble.
Nick managing to build up some pace there and take it in for 4 or 5 yards. Third and medium for Cambridge now.
Third and 6. Cambridge needs something here.
And they've given it to Cameron again, the
And
big
good
body
space.
running back. What a bulldozing run this is.
And there's a flag on the play, although I think if this does get ruled as okay for Cambridge, they're just 2 yards short of the first down.
Let's see what this flag is for. Long discussion amongst the referees here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15 yards. First down.
Now that is big for Cambridge. 15 yards not only gets them the first down, but brings them that much closer to the touchline.
Let's see if we can see that on the replay. Yeah, there it is. I think number 7 on the back of the helmet on Cameron Strong. That's a good call from the referees to spot that from there, hidden in the bundle of players. Suddenly, Cambridge find themselves in good field position. Let's see if they can turn this drive into some points.
Oh, there's a high snap over the quarterback's head, but good awareness to pick it up again. And sadly is a loss of yardage after just getting 15 there for the personal foul. I believe it's now 1st and 21 almost.
That snap came out like lightning above his head, but fantastic reactions from Jake Edwards to make something of that play and limit the loss.
And that's how quickly you can go from gaining yards from a penalty to losing yards for a botched snap. Good snap. And a good motion. He shakes off the tackler. And he's met at the edge.
Nick's done very well there to turn that from what could have been another 7 or 8 yard loss into a small yardage gain. But the pulling lineman not quite getting there in time for Cambridge, but great work from Nick and Tirahungwa to shake off the tackle.
I believe that's Tony there having his go at playing in defense. I believe next year looking to be one of Oxford's starting running backs. Again, Cambridge needed something big here in order to close down the yards that they need to make the first down. Also blitz, but Cambridge pick up the pressure. It's sadly overthrown.
No one home again for Cambridge. A flag down in the backfield.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer, 50 blue. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, that's another big call from the referees. we see this again. That looks soft. Unfortunately, we panned away from him, but it didn't look like a big late hit on the quarterback.
I don't think Cambridge will be complaining to have that penalty.
No, well, you take them where you can get them, and it's put Cambridge in good position again. That's totally negated the big loss from the botched snap, so Cambridge have been bailed out of a hole there. See if they can make something of this great position now.
And again, even as the gaps open up, Oxford are there again to make the tackle. I believe that's number 70 for Oxford. That was good to shake off his blocker and to get in there and make the tackle.
Looking to pass, found some space. Oh!
And it's great defense from Oxford to intercept the pass before it reaches the receiver. That's Hudson there who made a great tip on the pass, stopped it from reaching the receiver. Let's look at that again.
Does fantastically well to anticipate that play and get a hand in there.
Fine margins, fine margins. I think Cambridge find themselves having most success when the ball is released quickly and they catch Oxford off guard. And I think particularly being this close to the end zone, that's something they're going to have to utilize now in the second half.
Looking to pass again, going deep.
And it's overthrown.
Jack Harris at DB there, just doing a good job to put the receiver off his route, stopping him going deep without committing a foul.
So fourth down here, Cambridge do need a score. Do you think they're going to go for the field goal, or do you think they're going to try and go for first down or even a touchdown?
It looks like the field goal unit coming out. So I think they're going to trust the leg of Jake Edwards and give him a go at the posts. Cambridge just looking to get some points on the board now. Snap's good, hold is good, kick short.
And the kick is good. And the Cambridge are now on the scoreboard after getting that field goal. That's the best field position they've managed to get all day, getting into Oxford's 20. And hopefully this will be able to rally them to go forward now and put more points up on the board.
That must have just crept
Let's
over.
see that
Let's
kick
see that again. Wow, just over. Let's see this really close up. Yeah, I think that is good. Yeah.
Kick was good.
Jake Edwards, another big kickoff.
That is a big kick.
And it's not gone back, so we're going to see a return here. Oh!
Great from Cambridge, and that couldn't be a more perfect kick. The fans are starting to rally behind Cambridge as they've got some points on the board now and had a good kickoff.
This is a big tackle from Alistair Wilson there, putting the shoulder in, driving him out of bounds.
That collision of helmets couldn't have felt good.
maybe this is the start of a bit of a momentum for Cambridge as they look to get a foothold back in this game.
Joel's back in at quarterback. Again, Cambridge needs to be careful, knowing what he's already done today.
Run met immediately.
And it's a tackle for loss for Cambridge. Definitely, it does feel like they're starting to gain some momentum, and the crowd too seems to be finding the support behind them. Let's look at that again. I mean, there was nothing there that Ade could do as a running back. The pressure was there as soon as he got the ball.
That was Samuel Altas off the edge quickly to make that tackle, wearing number 70 today.
And again,
John pulls the ball under heavy pressure now.
And Joel goes out of bounds. It's a lot better from Cambridge, a lot of pressure up front, not giving the quarterback time in the pocket, and they're going to need more of that in this half in order for them to mount a comeback.
Suddenly Cambridge have found a way, as you say, to get some pressure on Joel, keeping him in. Well, still found his way out of the pocket there, but at least limiting him on the run that he then pulled out. The linebacker's coming down to force him out of bounds.
Third and 12 for Oxford. Gonna need something here, otherwise they'll be forced to punt.
Empty backfield for Oxford.
And it's going to be a free play because of Cambridge being offside, but I think Oxford will likely decline the penalty, seeing that did result in a big play for them. Nice catch again by Kelly in that contested catch.
And it does look like that penalty was an offside on the defense.
Offside, defense, penalties declined, first down.
Yeah, with Cambridge's defense going offside, Oxford had a free play and they made the most of it. It is good heads up from Oxford receivers to still work really hard on the free play.
Good heads up from Joel there to know he's got the freedom to take that shot into double or triple coverage because it's consequence free with the penalty already down.
Good fake from Joel, and he's got space. And Joel muscling his way through for another first down. Let's see that again. It was a good fake from Joel to sell the defense as the space opens up in the middle for him to run into. And again, using the quickness of his feet to get those extra yards. Another fake again, but good pressure from Cambridge's defense.
Joel still finds the edge.
Joel just too quick and able to find the edge.
We've got a flag down there, just as Joel stepped out of bounds.
I think that last play there just showed that Cambridge's momentum hasn't gone, even though Oxford have had a couple of big plays there, and if they can keep up with that intensity,
no foul in the play.
I'm sure they'll get some reward from it.
That flag's been waved off, so no penalty on the play. But it has been the story of the day for Cambridge. There's been a few good plays. They started this drive very well with a good kickoff and 2 good stops down deep in Oxford's territory, but they've not been able to string quite enough plays together to ever stop Oxford's momentum or to put any points on the board themselves. Well, to put a touchdown on the board, rather.
Not really sure what the referee saw there that caused him to throw a flag, but yeah, I think waving the flag was the right call. Good pressure again from Cambridge, but just too much space outside for Joel to run into. Broken up by Cambridge's defense.
That's very well done by Joby Coleman there, coming in to stop that. Joby Cosgrave, sorry, coming in to stop that one getting through.
Abdul was the target, who had good reception at the beginning of the first half, which led to Oxford's first touchdown this half.
As you say, we're starting to see some penetration from Cambridge, but it's not been enough to find Joel before he escapes just yet. Charles Kelly getting through time and again here, but hasn't managed to get home to the quarterback.
Backfield for Oxford. All the time in the world for Joel. And that's unlucky miss. Two of Oxford's best receivers today, just unable between the two of them taking the ball. Let's see that again. You got a little screen there from Guillaume, screening the Cambridge defense and some space for Ari.
And that is the end of the third quarter now, so the teams will swap sides again for the final quarter of this game. Score is Cambridge 3, Oxford 34.
It's been an encouraging third quarter, I think, for Cambridge. Not only managing to get points on the board, but definitely we can see some aggression coming through on their defense, being able to penetrate through Oxford's offensive line. And definitely, I think, as well, them being able to get to the red zone for Oxford. I think they should look to maximize on the mistakes that Oxford make and, again, try and contain Oxford's quarterbacks, whether it's Ethan or Joel, from having so much time in the pocket to be able to pick out a pass.
So we've got 4th down and 10 now for Oxford inside the Cambridge territory. They're showing a punt formation, but as we've seen earlier in this game, that's not necessarily a sign we're going to see a punt. Joel back to take it, and it's snap front, and it's a fake, and they've gone through the middle, and that's going to be right on the line. Signalled short, I think, of the first down, but Oxford are asking for it. No, Cambridge ball, that was 8 yards. Well,
let's see that again. A good fake, but yeah, as you can see there, the player was down just before the first down marker at the 32-yard line.
Direct snap to the up man, Victor Angelov, eventually brought down, I think, by Brandon Starts, Cambridge's centre and middle linebacker today.
Good awareness from Cambridge to stay alert even on the fake punt.
Oh, and it's another fumbled snap. Oh, and that's a bad sack to take from Cambridge. That's a loss of, well, maybe 20, 25 yards they've taken there. Mistakes have cost Cambridge today, unfortunately, just putting themselves in a hole a couple of times now. It's looking like a tough ask to take this drive anywhere.
Again, just the quickness of the snap, catching out the quarterback and it going right through his hands again. Second and 24.
Cameron Round in the backfield again for Cambridge. We can expect to see the ball in his hands again, maybe. Here we go, up the middle. Bulldozing run, staying on his feet, still on his feet. And now brought down.
I think Oxford are asking for it. I think they believe that they've managed to force a fumble and recover the ball. Still Cambridge's ball.
Cameron Round really rumbling with it there. Gain of 5, 6, 7, 8 yards.
That ball
did look like it was out early, didn't it?
That ball definitely looks like it wasn't in his hands when he went down.
Cambridge maybe getting away with it again there after one of those in the first half. 3rd and 11 now.
Good reception from Cambridge and good turn and run. Good feed. Big play from Cambridge, able to make the first down, and that is exactly what they needed at this point.
Great play again by Jake Edwards, wriggling away.
Let's do that again. Quick release from Cambridge's quarterback, and able to rely on the wide receivers' quickness to be able to make those extra yards. Good recovery from Charlie to be able to make the tackle. But yeah, definitely that would encourage Cambridge's offense.
Hand off to Daniel Harry up the middle, which is good for maybe 3 yards. And we see the right guard and the right tackle pulling round to the left there to make that space. Perhaps actually a bit of a miscommunication there with the runner not going up behind his blockers, but 3 yards Cambridge will take on first down. And it's a counter fumble and then picked up again.
It's positive yardage. Good recovery to be able to pick up the ball there and make something out of what would have been a loss on the play. Great stuff from Cambridge. And a good tackle from number 7, Iomi, able to stop that play from going for anything more.
Third and short for Cambridge now, which isn't a position I remember them being in today, much if at all. So we'll see what they've got here.
Oh, so they're showing pressure on the line. Ooh. Yeah, and unfortunately for Cambridge, just unable to bring the ball in has cost them where they really needed it.
Short pass for Cambridge, looking for Jake Edwards again there, who's got his hands on the ball quite a few times now from slot receiver. Looks like Cambridge are going to go for this on 4th down. So we've got 4th and 3 well inside the Oxford territory again. Coach Wallace making the call to go for this one at this point in the game. To run up the middle. Alistair Wilson, has he got there? I think he has. Let's see how they're going to spot
It
this.
looks like he might have just made it with that extra lunge forward at the end. Let's see where they roll him down.
Let's see if we're going to have the chains on the field here, maybe.
Let's see what they decide here. Lots of deliberation.
Yeah, we are having the chains brought on. Let's see.
Yeah, bringing on the chains in order to determine whether or not.
That looks short.
It is short by a matter of inches. By a matter of inches. And that is unfortunate for Cambridge, who have done really well to drive back up the pitch, having a good reception there earlier in the drive and being able to get back into Oxford's territory. But just a matter of inches was the difference between making the first down or not.
That's tough from a Cambridge point of view after putting a few plays together there to see it stopped by, as you say, just a matter of inches.
Let's see that again.
Trusting Alistair Wilson, the veteran running back here, with the carry, the important carry on 4th down, and the ball gets almost knocked back as he's going to ground, stop him from reaching out for that extra yardage.
Got Ethan back in at quarterback. Joel is in at wide receiver. And a good throw to Joel, who's also now got a reception today. And there's a leg race, and he's going to make it, and he does. Not only can he hurt you by passing, but he can also hurt you by rushing and receiving. I believe that is 2 years in a row in which Joel has had not only a rushing, receiving, and also a passing touchdown in the same game.
Big hole in the middle of the Cambridge defence there, and it's just too easy for Joel, that. Using his legs and his pace to get away from the Cambridge defence. Now this being Britball.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offence. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Yeah, so as we've just heard there, this being British-American football, we're going to see a 15-yard penalty for that celebration. I think all the Oxford players would have known that was coming as they lined up to do that.
And also something about Britball, once the scoreline has a difference of more than 35, we end up with a running clock now, so unless Cambridge do manage to pull something back, then the clock is going to be running and will no longer stop.
Some trickery from Oxford here on the 2-point, and
that was beautifully done, beautifully executed.
Philly special-esque there.
An extra 2 points there after they converted just then. And that was well crafted. Clean movement, clean reception, clean pass. As you see now, Joel with 2 touchdowns today and Guillaume with 3 there on the pitch, celebrating with one another.
So Oxford will be kicking off from the 20 now after that penalty. So back 15 yards. We'll see if this gives Cambridge the opportunity to mount some sort of a return here.
A big kick from Joel, just over the head of the returner. And he lets it go out. I mean, that's going to be a flag, and
very sensible play from Jake Edwards, the returner there.
Cambridge fans starting to mount a chant in support of
free kick out of
Cambridge's
bounds on the
offense.
kicking team. The receiving team will take it 30 yards from the kicking spot, from the 50-yard line. 50. We've gone back 50, yeah. First down.
In particular in support of Cambridge's number 0, Ayo Akande. Got some fans in the crowd today. Now that kickoff out of bounds will see Cambridge start from the halfway line after the kickoff, after the penalty enforced before that kickoff. So Cambridge have a strong start here in which to try and put some more points on the board on this drive. But as David told us, we've got a running clock, so time is running out. The clock won't stop now if Cambridge get out of bounds or throw an incomplete pass.
Ooh. Good spin, but also a big hit from Oxford's number 81. That would be Connor. Good from Cambridge to hold on to the ball even on being hit. And just a missed pass there. At this stage in the game, what do you think a Cambridge player should be doing to motivate themselves to keep playing through to the last minute?
Well, obviously any thoughts of a win have long since gone out the window, but for the Cambridge players, you still want to get out there and make a play. This is the varsity match. Obviously the match is being live streamed. You want to go out and give a good account of yourself even to the end. You're playing for pride at this point, but Cambridge, they want to go out and make big plays here. In a similar vein to last year on our final drive of the game, we made 2 big plays and we went down the field and scored a touchdown. The Cambridge players would love to do that now, even if it's not going to change the result of the game.
Yeah, and I just think the receiver had switched off there, number 14. That quarterback was looking at him, but he didn't seem ready to receive.
4th down now, I think. 4th and 9 we've got here. You have to imagine Cambridge are going to go for this again inside the Oxford half with 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Yeah, quarterback Max is still in. Yeah, drops back to pass, hit as he throws, and the pass falls incomplete.
Again, that Oxford pressure from their defensive line, just not giving the quarterback time to be able to put enough into that pass that met his receiver. I believe that's Ade again coming off on the edge, and with his speed and quickness being able to
Fastest off the edge there as the blitzing linebacker actually put the Cambridge left tackle in conflict, leaving Addy unblocked as the running back didn't get there in time.
Joel back in at quarterback after receiving that last touchdown in the previous drive.
The referee just signaling here that both teams still have 3 timeouts they can call, and I think this is the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes left to play in the game, both teams with 3 timeouts. Oxford on for what could well be their last possession. It's toss and big play from Cambridge there. Charles Kelly finally getting home as he's been penetrating through all day, makes that tackle, and that's going to be a loss of 17 for Oxford. Looking to put some more trickery in there, maybe with a reverse pass like we saw last year, but Cambridge not falling for it this time and getting home quickly. Charles Kelly beating his man off the edge and taking down Ethan, I think, who's rotated in at quarterback all day, taking him down again.
Only 75 seconds left on the clock. Oxford will have to be quick if they're going to try and score one before the end of the game.
Plenty of time here, and still Cambridge struggling to get pressure. Joel steps up and throws.
No one to receive.
Kelechi, I think, can't quite adjust to make that catch. Clock running down now. It doesn't look like Cambridge are going to call timeouts to get themselves another possession. So this could be the last play we see today. Joel avoids the pressure again. Chased by James Tomling, who throws
on the run. And he finds his man, number 25, who catches it on the run and manages to shake a tackle and run into the end zone. That was great movement from Genesis, not only to make the reception whilst Joel was on the scramble, but also to take the contact and shake the tackles and make it into the end zone.
There is a flag on the far side of the field.
And judging by his reaction, I believe this is his first varsity, and what a feeling that is to score in your first varsity. And I believe his first reception of the game.
Wow. That is a huge play. Once again, it looked like Cambridge were going to get home to the quarterback, but Joel found a way to get the ball off and find his man all the way down the field again. And that is the end of the game. Final score, Cambridge 3, Oxford 48.
And there we have it, the 17th annual Varsity Bowl between Oxford University Lancers and Cambridge University Pythons. And as we're seeing there, that last touchdown there, great stuff from Genesis, shaking a tackle, missing another man, and using that speed to get away into the end zone. Again, Joel utilizing his throwing strength to be able to throw under pressure, may I say. So again, even though it was a short second half, there were still some exciting moments of the game. As you see there, Oxford celebrating, ecstatic after having won the third varsity in a row. I believe second. Yeah. 3 years ago was actually, or 2 years ago was when Cambridge actually pegged Oxford here 14-12.
So we're seeing the full game highlights now. This is our first touchdown again.
I believe Yame steps aside in the second half to allow some of the other players to get in on VARSITY, but he had a great game today. 3 touchdowns, big receptions, good adjustments on difficult throws, and yeah, definitely a top performance from him.
Would he be your nod to win the VARSITY MVP?
It's difficult to say. He's had a great game, but when Joel Chesters manages to pass, rush, and receive a touchdown in the same game, not only that, he's scored, I think, 4 conversions and also just punts and contributing in all rounds of the game. It's hard to not give it to him.
It is hard to look past Joel winning his second VARSITY MVP in a row.
But then again, there have been some standout plays mainly from Oxford. I have to give credit to their front line, particularly in the first half. I think the quarterbacks enjoyed a lot of space, as we saw there, and able to get off a lot of passes. I think as well some big plays from Ari and Sackett, and those who showed what they can do in the years to come in other plays. And I think Cambridge too can take some encouragement. The second half performance was definitely a lot more encouraging than the first, and I think had they have come out with that intensity to begin with, it would have definitely been a different first half, which could have given them the momentum going into the second.
Now, obviously, Oxford American football has come on a long way in recent years, and there's a gulf opening up between the two sides a bit, which we've seen in the results in recent years. How did it change between when you started as a rookie, David, and now, and when you finished last year?
For sure, I think around the period that I joined the Lancers, there were a good number of rookies, I think, that created a good core within the team. And I think having a core of players who are around year on year makes a big difference for particularly those rookies who do come in subsequent years, and they help create a culture. They help create a culture and a determination, because players today who played 2 years ago and remember what it was like to lose 14-12 would pass on that desire and motivation and hunger onto those that come. And I think as well as the team itself develops talents, as we see people like Joel, as we see people like Ari and Sackett and Kelly and Iomi and players, Josh, all of these guys who have been around and we've seen their progression throughout the years, it raises the level within the team as players come and players are retained and they build their skills. And I think that's one of the main differences, because we don't have lots of funding that allow us to bring in a whole team of people from abroad, but actually with the one student that is sponsored to play that's on a scholarship, the rest of the team is made up with students, and the most standout players that have contributed are those that have been here for a few years. And so I think that's one of the main things, getting in players and getting them to stay and stick around and invest in the team.
So we're going to go down to Miles now, who's on the field with our MVP, Joel Chesters, number 9.
Chesters, second varsity match as a quarterback, second victory. How does it feel?
Yeah, great. I didn't think I'd be able to top it last year. 5 touchdowns at home, but getting the 5 touchdowns away, obviously, maybe reach that level as well.
And how do you think your performance this year compared to your performance last year? Obviously winning by a little bit more of a margin this year, but how do you think the play was?
I mean, I guess last year, we had David at running back, and it was obviously distributed a lot more to him. This year, we had less, I was more involved in the run game specifically, actively rather than just by scrambling. So maybe felt more involved this year, but obviously, that's because we had David, who was a brilliant running back last year.
Yep. And the other question is, was there anyone who was giving you problems out there? From the looks of it, there wasn't, but were there any cornerbacks, any free safeties that you thought, damn, this guy might pick one off if I don't be careful?
No, there was a funny, one of the defensive ends kept on saying, oh, I slipped on that one, and you're lucky and stuff, but I mean, it happened every time, so. But yeah, not really. But I mean, they're a good team. We just obviously were the better one today.
Yep. So onwards and upwards. What are you thinking for next year? Obviously, we won by 34 last year. Won by a bit more this year. What's the prediction for next year?
I mean, like next year we lose a lot of guys because we had a very strong, like solid freshman or fresher kind of intake 3 years ago. So we'll lose a lot of those guys. So it'll be hopefully not a rebuild year, but you know it's going to take a lot of recruitment and then hopefully another win next year.
An MVP performance, huge victory. What are your plans for tonight?
Drink out of the cup probably and call my girlfriend.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's keep going. Thanks for your time. Coach Fitty, dominant victory today. Yeah. It was a good one. I think that's the largest margin we've ever won the varsity match by. What role do you think the trenches played in that victory?
They want to enjoy the game and want to show what they reached this year. They are doing the best in the whole year. So I think we have a lot of great guys and they are doing all the time the best. Sometimes need to push them to do it harder, but yeah, we have many great guys. I think this is a great rules, and yeah, that's they show now why we reach in this year, that why we are on where we are. So yeah, I think this was a best performance of us almost in the year. So yeah, that's one.
And the offensive and defensive line often get overlooked by the fans. So who do you think you want to shout out in terms of an amazing performance today? Or anyone who, yeah.
I know the result is not shown. This was a big difference between the two teams, but that was very hard, the preparation in the last some weeks. And I saw we could do our best and they could do their best and do shows. Yeah, this was the greatest time what we can do, and we reached this point. So we need to learn. There was some mistake during the game. Every time there is. So has a many stuff. We will see next year what we could do, and need to get getting better. And when we win, that's great. We need to learn. When we lose, we need to learn. We learned a lot from the Exeter game. When we lose a lot, but yeah, we need to do the best next year and to see you again.
Well, thank you for your time. Beat them by more than 45 next year. That's the plan. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go over here, see if we can get an interview with one of the star players or maybe the head coach, but we'll see. They seem to be a bit involved. Over here. So here we are. Offensive coordinator. How did it go? Second half, put up quite a few numbers.
That was fun. We tried to we want to get some guys some touches. We're trying to get some records. We had Guy. I won't try and say his surname. He matched the career and season all-time touchdown record set by Jesse Rhodes a few years ago. So we were trying to get that on the last play. Ended up going to a receiver, his first catch and a touchdown. So pretty huge moment for him. And a great way to end the season for a lot of the guys, guys in their last games as well. So, good second half. Can't be mad at nearly 50 points.
And yeah, nearly 50 points. Can't be upset. But what do you think about in terms of young players and replacing people for next year and how it's going to look next year compared to this year in terms of losing veteran players?
Yeah, that's always the university cycle, and you go back to the drawing board a little bit, work with schematically and playbook wise to sort of see who you've got. We're lucky to have Joel Chester's back next year. We've got Davis Klein, a quarterback who was unfortunately out injured today as well, who's here from the US for another year. So, we've got some guys to build around, which is always nice. But, yeah, we've definitely got a lot of leavers. But hopefully some new guys come in. And I think we're a growing sport in the university. And there was obviously a post the other day from the Vice-Chancellor and hoping, more guys will come out and enjoy the sport that is American football.
And what role do you think having our own pitch and the RC Millsap pitch has played in increasing the popularity of American football at Oxford?
Yeah, it's huge. You know, when I started 6 or 7 years ago with the Lancers, we played on a pitch, probably about 20 minutes ride, or you know, from the centre of Oxford, and so having the RC Millsap pitch in the middle of Uni Parks is huge. It's just publicity. The amount of, you know, probably Americans or Canadians who maybe don't know that we have American football here, and see those posts and recognise them. The amount of people that we have come out and watch training, or people walking their dogs and then come down and come to our games, and some of those, you know, that's led to players coming out. So it's you know, a huge marketing point for us as a team.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Perfect.
We'll go over to the players now, but thank you. Get back to celebrating. Okay.
Hey.
How's it going?
How you doing, man? Come on.
I'll start with you. All right. Never mind.
Oh, no, it's
last year, last varsity. How did it feel?
Felt great. Felt great.
It was a good game.
What about you?
It was a good game. We've been in this game. We've been in this game for a minute, and you know, didn't think we were gonna get the pads back on, me and him. Didn't ever think I was gonna play again. I'm out here playing with some great dudes, putting some points on the board. So yeah, I'd say it was a good day.
And how did you find the game today?
It was great. Honestly, I'd like to thank the whole Oxford team, because being a visiting student, I was only here for 2 terms. So like, they really opened up and like welcomed me with open arms. So being able to start at running back and quarterback in previous games, it was like a great experience. I really like our 2 kind of leaders on the team right here. Like, they really made it a home for me. So it was really a great experience overall.
So how did you guys make it a home for him as leaders on the team?
I mean, he's a great guy. He brings a lot of swagger. He brings a lot of enthusiasm. He's a unique personality, and the beautiful thing of like Oxford, Cambridge sport in general is that you get a lot of people that are great in their field, interesting people to be around, and then at the end of the day, you all come together and play a sport.
You all come together and beat Cambridge by 45, right?
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
And then
I mean, the real beauty of varsity sport is that we had a game like this. Obviously, didn't go the way some people would like, and at the end of the day, we're going to sit down, we're going to break bread, we're going to drink together, and we're going to have some great conversations with the team, Cambridge team.
Hopefully do a lot of good.
Yeah. And the question I've been asking everyone, what's going to be next year?
Next year?
Yeah. What's the score going to be next year?
Oh, shit, man.
It's always a tough one when you play here.
14-14 going to overtime.
I wish I could be here to witness it next year.
All right. Well, are we going to go lift the trophy? Let's go lift the trophy. So this has been an amazing day. The weather hasn't let up. It's been perfect. And now we're going to go see the team lift the trophy, what they've all been working for all year, finally all culminating in one moment. Here we go.
Take a picture, take a picture. Right down. Break down, we'll get a quick picture. Oh, wait, yeah, where
Yeah. You're going to have to yell. All right? You got to pick it up.
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
1, 2, 3.
Lancers! Hey, Miles, man, how you doing, bro? I saw you from Fast last time. Miles, no way.
One more into now, bro.
No one's the last interview.
Can we and him, can we do a joint?
All right, here we go. So, the camera's there, by the way. How did you guys find the game today? Beating Cambridge by 45, how did it feel?
It felt really good. Like, it felt good. Just another day in the office, isn't it?
It was light. I'm not going to lie, it was light.
And then what do you think it's going to be next year?
I think we've got to go bigger. We've got to hit 50. Bro, 60 is there, man.
I mean, 70 now.
All right. And which one of you is going to be scoring those points? Which one of you is going to be the all-time scoring leader next year in this?
Yeah, you play defense, and I'm the only receiver.
I'm gone.
It has to be me. Yeah, it has to be me.
It's got to be Hamid.
It's got to be him.
Yeah.
We're calling it now. Hamid, 70 points next year. Hold him to it.
Okay, 70's a bit.
If he doesn't do it, it's his fault.
We're going to win.
By 70. There we go. That's all from us today. Thank you for watching. 48 to Oxford, 3 to Cambridge. What can I say? Amazing, beautiful day. Amazing victory. All thanks to these guys. Don't do that on the camera.
It's a W, it's a W, it's a W.
Okay. Well played, man.
Yeah.